Louis?
Please leave your message for
Chris Perron.
Chris. Hi, Chris. This is me, WNBC. And I just wanted to do a follow-up story on the, everything that you went through, the SWAT teams, the fire truck, the hackers, Robert Lane, everything, man. We need to talk about it. It's going to be in the newspapers every single day. In Boston, you can buy it for $1. It's up your...
You fucking idiot. Oh, I'm not on mute. Fuck.
Hi, Chris. This is me, WNBC. And I just wanted to do a follow-up story on the...
I'm sorry, man. I thought
everything that you went through, the SWAT teams, the fire truck, the hackers, Robert Lane, everything, man. We need to talk about it. It's going to be in the newspapers every single day. In Boston, you can buy it for $1. It's up your...
You fucking idiot. Oh, I'm not on mute.
Somebody's playing phone games.
Please leave your message for
Chris Perron.
Yeah, Chris, call me back. I have all the information you need about these prank callers. Just call me back. I'm done with them. He just called me a fucking asshole for interrupting one call or whatever. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going to snitch all of them.
I almost turned purple holding my breath.
Well, Robert.
Yes.
You want to talk to his brother with a soundboard? Oh. Wait, maybe it's Chris.
Ready?
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, how you doing? This is Chris.
Hey, Chris. Yeah. I was calling you. There's a couple of prank callers here, and I just got very pissed on them. And I know you've been trying to hunt them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm still furious. They betrayed me, and I don't know anymore. What they are doing is wrong anyway. So I just thought maybe...
No, you're absolutely right.
Maybe you need some information.
Yeah, send it to me at c.perron. I got a lot of information on these guys, but anything else would be added to the pile, so to speak. They've been doing this to me for going on 5 years.
Holy shit.
5 years. They put me out of business.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Are you managing right now, or
No.
can you get around? Okay.
Excuse me?
Can you get around? I mean, do you still make money?
Here and there.
It's hard to do business with all these prank callers, Every
Yes, it is. Well, listen, they're not your friend, man. And guess what? They will screw you. You piss them off, and they will screw you, and they'll screw you big time.
Yeah, I know.
So, and I'm not talking about just messing with you. They might call law enforcement on you. They might have, and I'm talking about the cops just showing up at your door. One of the prank callers has already been busted. The guy named, went by LLC. And his name was Justin.
Justin?
Yeah, Justin something. I'll think of it.
J666?
No, that's J1666. No, that's Marcone.
Yeah, I have information about Marco.
Well, I'd love to have it in an email.
Yeah, he's currently in Hong Kong, but he's from the Netherlands.
I know he is, and I know he's currently in Hong Kong. I've got other people giving me information. He was involved in some espionage. So, you do what you want.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a heads up. They put me out of business, and the bottom line is that they use lying, deception, subterfuge as their instruments. As far as I'm concerned, they work for Satan, because that's Satan's tools.
Yeah.
Lying, deception, and subterfuge.
I think they are worshipping Satan as well. I mean, they must be Jewish or something. But do you have?
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't even go down that road. But if you got information, just send it to me at c.perun@yahoo.com.
Okay, I will. And is there anything you would like to recommend me to secure myself? You know, because they know who I am. They know my Skype, my telephone number, my.
There was a young man in the Middle East. I don't know what happened to him. All I know is they screwed him, and I know that over there, penalties are severe. And they don't care what a person's age is. This individual just disappeared off the planet. I had developed a relationship with him over the course of 2 years. I knew who some of his friends were. I called over to Kuwait a few times and spoke to a couple of his friends, and they didn't know what happened to him. All I know is that the young man, just disappeared. So these guys don't care about anything other than each other. Coon and Tom. Give me Tom's real name and his location. I know where Mark Coon is, and I know his location. So it doesn't really do me any good, but the more information I've got, the better off I am.
What about this Robert Lane guy?
Yeah, if you know who Robert Lane is a character out of the past. He had a TV show. He came under attack from those guys as well. So the Robert Lane, that's kind of a red herring. It's an alert, if you will, but to the idea of prank callers when they use Robert Lane, but. Realistically speaking, I can find Robert Lane. He's here in the States. He's got a TV show on a couple of well, he did have a TV show. I don't know if he still does. But be that as it may, just be careful. Send me the information, and I would back out of it slowly. Don't piss them off, because you don't know what they're capable of.
They just crossed the line because they sent the SWAT team out of to somebody, and then I thought this isn't a joke anymore.
No, it's not. They sent the SWAT team to mine.
I was almost crying, man. I don't know, because they sent it to an old couple, and they sent one to you too.
Yep, they sent one to my shop late at night when I was working late at night. And if I had made the wrong move, I would have been dead.
That's fucking crazy. You must have a trauma. Damn. Man,
well, you know something? I have a strong faith in a superpower, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, I won't go down that road, but I have a faith in divine intervention. But if you want to give me, the number of the couple, the SWAT team that they called, where they're out of, then I'll give them a buzz and give them a heads up.
All right, I'll email that to you as well.
Great. And what's your name?
Is it safe to tell you? Because
I think so. Because I'm not. I mean, you're not a. Huh?
I don't know anymore who to trust now, or at this moment.
Well, I don't blame you. That's why I didn't call you back.
Yeah.
But when you said when you had indicated certain things in a certain order and in a certain manner and in a certain tone, that's why I called you back. So, but
Thank you. Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Huh?
My name is Victor. Victor,
okay,
and Sturba is my last name. I live in the Czech Republic.
Okay. Well, that's cool. We got a lot of good programmers coming out of the Czech Republic.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, you're aware of that. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Well, I'm surprised you're aware of our tiny country.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I'm up on a lot of different things. I'm 57 years old. We have an old saying over here, and it's said incorrectly, that when a person asks another person, some people, what they do for a living, they say, well, I'm a jack of all trades but master of none. Well, the correct terminology is, as men, we're supposed to be a jack of all trades. We're supposed to know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but we're supposed to be the master of one, the talent that God gave us. That will provide for us a substantial living as well. So, one thing I don't believe in doing is lying, cheating, or stealing to get ahead, because it comes back around. There's an old saying over here, too. What goes around comes around. But that comes from the Bible, which says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Some people also refer to it as karma. Put out bad karma, you get bad karma.
Yeah, so you are absolutely right, Chris, because every time somebody lies, the truth always comes out in the end. That's just,
yes, it does.
That's just the way that the Lord works. And even in the ancient Hebrew texts, the word for lie, the word for the truth, if you take away one letter, it would spell lie. So this is how the divine world, how it works.
Yes.
Yeah. And I really I can understand now, but from your perspective, because I listened to a few of the calls they did to you earlier. I thought that you like to play around with these guys because you kind of liked it as a joke. But I now understand that it's much more than a joke. And if they are doing this to deceive people and to really screw people, to really make them inflict pain, this is really crossing a very a line. So I'm done with that. I don't want any part of it anymore. And I'm just going to email you all the information that I have, sir.
Okay, that's great. And who knows what the future may bring, you know? Maybe one day we'll work together because I'm into internet stuff as well. But they do like to inflict pain. Here's one example, a guy named Frank Garrett. Well, they drove Frank Garrett insane to the point where he was always ranting and raving. And they loved that. Because they'd record that, which is against the law in most states over here to record somebody without their knowledge, without their consent, and playing it back to other people. It's actually intellectual property. So it's like taking your voice and then recording your voice and using it in a commercial. And even though these guys aren't making some money on some victims, they are making money on other victims. I mean, there's mugs out there and T-shirts, from what I understand, and baseball caps with my likeness on it.
Wow.
Well, that's criminal. But the point I'm trying to make is they drove Frank Garrett insane to the point where he was always ranting and raving, and eventually that gave him a stroke. And he was in the hospital, and they started harassing the doctors and the nurses to prevent them from working on him, helping him. So they figured if they inflicted enough pain via verbal abuse and harassing the doctors, relatives, and they all do this through lying, Victor. They get all their information through lying. So, long story short, I think the guy's name was Justin Payne who got arrested. When you send me the email, I'll flip you back with the link. It made the news in Maryland. He lived up by the Dover racetrack, the NASCAR Dover racetrack. Anyway, it's evil. I've been plagued by Satan for going on since 2009.
Yeah.
2009, I was turning the corner. And my business was going to start to make money that year. I had suffered through 5 years of of trying to keep the business going, and that was the first year I actually saw a profit being made via the IRS's standards, our Internal Revenue Service standards, and or tax code standards, and it said another way. And lo and behold, I think I know who instigated this, but Mark Cohn told me a year into this, the police told me a year into this, don't talk to these guys if you're not talking to them. But I thought that I could maybe give them some guidance in morals and ethics and hopefully eternal life. But it just...
You're trying to change their ways through talking to them and make them understand, but they just they love the feeling of getting a reaction out of you, I guess.
Yes,
that's what they live for. So I guess that's. But the feeling I'm getting is that the police, these guys, they feel untouchable. They feel like nobody can harm them and they can do whatever they want.
That's exactly right.
But a part of it is because the police is hardly doing any real effort to track these guys down. Because I know that you know a lot of computers. You can probably track them down easily, but you cannot make an arrest.
Yes, I can. As a matter of fact, that's took me 2 years of part-time work trying to keep the business going while being harassed by the prank callers. While I was tracking as well, and it took me 2 years to find who Mark Cohn was. But even though I found what he was in another country. Now, I could have filed a complaint. I called up the police in the area that he resides, and they were very much interested in this information, but I was told by the police here that this is an FBI matter. I had no business being involved in it. So, but there comes a point in time when we have to stand up for ourselves, and nobody takes care of me. The police aren't here to protect me. They can't protect me. Police always show up after the fact. They're not hanging out around outside ready to protect me if somebody's going to harm me. So we're full-grown men. We're supposed to act and talk and think.
There's a saying
like full-grown men.
Yeah, there's a saying. There's a saying here, an expression here in Czech. It says that if a sheep walks into a drench and it drowns, only then they're going to save him after he drowned. Maybe it's a bad translation, but they always show up too late. They're only going to start doing things when it's already too late. And,
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Czechoslovakia, my cousins, it's we call my aunt and uncle because they're so much older than I was growing up. But my cousins came from the Czech Republic. Now you've got a lot of the last name was Sadlinsky.
Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with that. What I know is Slovakia is no longer with us now. They are independent.
Yeah.
But we still have, have you ever visited our country?
No. Someday.
I would invite you to come one day. It's very beautiful. You should definitely see Prague. It's just an amazing. You sound like somebody who needs a vacation as well. So I would.
That is funny. That is so true.
So yeah, I would really like to invite you one day if you could come. That would be that would be great.
Well, you know something, I was trying to set up different data recovery shops around this country, and then I was going to expand overseas. And I heard it made contacts when these guys got involved in my life, and that's why I say I was on the verge of actually making a profit when these guys got involved in my life. And I have a funny feeling. There was a guy named Chris Santos. In this state, his name was Chris Santos. I can't remember the two numbers that were on the end of his username, But he was one of the prank callers, and he was directly involved in the toy chest. Are you familiar with the toy chest?
Toy chest? What?
Yeah. Are you familiar with the toy chest?
Not really.
Okay,
no.
that's where the guys go to meet. There's a place called the Toy Chest. It's online. It's a forum. Okay. But anyway, I'm not going to talk your ear off. One day I hope to be able to visit a lot of different places. But right now, it's a matter of not having any contact with these guys to any large degree, and getting as much information on them as I possibly can. So if you could send that along, that'd be great.
I will. And what happens if they call right now? They usually just hang up, or
I don't talk to them. Karina told me two years into getting harassed, she says, "You know something? If you just never talk to us, we quit bothering you." I says, So this time around, after I lost everything, my home, my furniture, my car, my business, everything, still $120,000 in the hole. That's $120,000 US. I stopped talking with them. Yeah, they destroyed my life. And I'm 57 years old. Do you know how easy it is to build your life over at 57 years old?
It's hard.
It's not.
You need to do it by yourself only. There's no other way. I mean,
That's right.
Nobody's going to hire a 57-year-old man. That's just
right.
That's the truth, and it's a rough world. I understand, and that's why I really don't understand how they can attack. I saw a video with a old lady that's almost insane. She was crying like la, 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 really insane, and they keep pranking her. I mean, she must be 80 years old or something. I don't know. And this Frank Garrett you talked about, I actually heard a few calls of Frank Garrett. And I did hear that he passed away, and I just don't understand. They keep using his voice to this day of somebody that is deceased. That shows you they don't have any morals.
They're evil. Yeah. You are actually, when you talk to these guys, you are actually dealing with evil. You're talking to evil. These guys, I believe, are demons. You're absolutely right, they have got no morals, no conscience. I've heard Coon, what we call lamb-based, which means you got a dead lamb, you're cooking him, you're actually basting him with his own juices. I've heard him lamb-based. What he said was his friend Tom. I don't know if you know Tom's real name, but I'd like to know his real name. And by the way, have you ever heard a guy named Jack out of London?
Jack out of London. It could, I know some prank callers from the UK, but Jack doesn't ring any. Is that Mr. Blonde?
No. That would be his real name. And he would go by Mr. Blonde.
Mr. Blonde, right. I heard of him. That's one evil bastard.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And I was like I think I was probably about 4 months research till I actually located where he was. Interpol was interested in these guys too, but I went out of business. FBI called me up. They wanted my help. I says, guys, unless you put up some cash, I'm broke. I'm out of business.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you have it, Vic. Listen, I'm going to let you fly. I got to take care of I got to get some food on the stove here.
Yeah. I understand. The funny thing is that you mentioned that because they actually offered me in the past fraud credit cards. So they have all the money and they're destroying other people's. Maybe this stolen credit cards. Probably. I don't know. I don't even.
They do.
Yeah. But I'll let you go to your dinner. I'll email
now,
you.
I want to write this down. Stux, and you can't mention this to Coon.
Okay.
Stuxnet. That's STUXNET. Research that. Go to 60 Minutes. Say Stuxnet, 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes. Yeah. 60 Minutes was on CBS. It's a TV show. And they did a report on the Stuxnet virus. And they said it originated out of Rotterdam and Malaysia. And at the time, well, I'm not going to get into it. These are the kinds of people you're dealing with.
Okay. I'll
it's
look
a virus.
I'll look into it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, listen, it was nice talking with you. Sorry we couldn't have met under better circumstances. I would love to have an invite to the Czech Republic, your area sometime in the future, maybe in the next year or so.
Well, that would be great. I would really, if you still have any financial problems, it depends what we can mean for each other. But if we can help each other out, I'll even buy you the ticket. It's not a problem for me, sir, because I feel that if we really can cooperate together, then an airplane ticket these days is not so expensive anymore, and you'll be my guest.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rick.
I'll email you, sir. And then, nice talking to you, Chris.
Nice talking with you too, Rick. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.